Okay, so those that are up to the difference of two squares factorising, can you just pay attention, please? We are following on with a rule that you know, okay, and you know well. If my pen works, helps if it's plugged in. The rule is the square of A subtracted from the square of B. And so in the past, we've been going this way. Okay, and now what they want to do is factorise us that way. So we expanded by going that way. Now we want to factorise. This process is going to be extraordinarily easy. Okay, because all it is identifying what A is and putting that in the first location of two brackets. Okay, finding what the second one is, putting that in that place. Because it's a take in there, we know that a plus and a minus must equal a minus. So if it's minus in there, one has to be a plus, one has to be a take. Okay? So in a way, there's fairly simple processes in order to factorise these. One has to be a plus, one has to be a minus. It could be this is a minus, this is a plus. You'd get it right the same way, but we've been used to doing this way, generally speaking. Is there any questions with that quick explanation? We're going to go through some examples, but is there any questions with that? You start to ring a bell and go, oh yeah, that'd be the way to go about it. So if we look at, we'll start with the more simpler one there, x squared take 4, okay? We just need to remember that our A needs to go at the front and we need to factorise this number, okay? We factorise it. How far do we factorise it? We don't factorise it to a trinomial. We don't factorise it to the power of 4. We factorise it to a power of 2, okay? You can see 25 has to be factorised to the power of 2. So what would be using a lot in this question would be our square root button. If we don't know that 5 squared is 25, we'd have to square root the number, won't we? People know where I'm going there? The opposite of squaring something is to square root. If we get a number, say we've got a number of, what's the number, 121, we might not know that. If we do 121 square root on our calculator, it'll come out to be a whole number. If it's able to be squared, because the opposite of squaring is the square root. Does that make sense to people? Or just need nods or no way? See lots of nods. So you need to understand that the square of 1 is 1. And the square root of 25 is, of course, 5. Don't forget to square root y. And the final thing we can do with this is we can check it, can't we? We can go back into it and say, well, let me now expand it. All right. And if when I expand it, it comes out to be my original question, then I know I've got it right. So we square the 5, we square the y, comes out to be 1 take 25 y squared. So we can check these, we know that we can get them right or not. So this factorising rule should be relatively simple for you. It's the A and B, and when we use them backwards, we should be able to find them relatively easy. Is there any questions with that explanation, or can I explain it better for anybody? Do you want me to go through any of these? Which one, sorry?
Is there a worded one there,
I can check. Let's clear that off. Any worded ones? Worded ones are better. That's why the Cambridge book is pretty good for that, because it's got worded questions, whereas the Hazies just tend to have.
Oh, that number 6.
Page 250. Circular pond. Yep, we can go through that in a minute. Okay. Rest of you, get stuck into them. I'll leave you with it. Yeah? If I can just have everyone's attention, please. And not yours, Will. If I can have everyone's attention, please. Please do not do H, I, and J of question 7. Okay? One, you won't need to know that stuff. Two, I think it's this one. The answer in the back of the book is x plus 1 or something. Given that there's n's, it's just going to further confusion. Alright, so don't do h, I and j, you don't need to worry about them. If you can do up to g, that's important. Alright? Paris. So what you do here is you just pull everything apart. Pull apart what you've got. So here you've got d plus 7, d plus 7. Okay, and then you've got plus d plus 6, d plus 7. Okay, so then it's a process of knowing what you've got common, and you've got them. Are you able to see that all right?
Yeah.
So here I'd have d plus 7. And then in the brackets is whatever I've got left over. That's gone, and that's gone. All right. Clearly, I would hope is what you have left over is d plus 7 plus d plus 6. d plus 7 plus d plus 6.
Yeah.
Okay. d plus 7 looks like that. d plus d gives me 2d. And 7 plus 6 gives me 13.
Yeah.
It's always whatever you've got left over. Okay, so it's a matter of just going through this process. Okay, I've got rid of those things. Colour them in, cover them up, do whatever. What have I got left? Well, I've got all that. We just eliminate that bit there, so they become all as one.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
So can you go back over and just try that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that okay for you?
Yeah.
Yep.